Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming and what we will call a news flash. Yes, that's right, I was inspired. I was going to make a video about something completely different, but I wanted to wax eloquent about something that just happened in a World Below RPG I've been running. That's right, along with all the other games I run, I've been running the World Below too. And I had my first legitimate Rocks Fall Everybody Dies in an RPG, a TPK as a result of a cave-in. And you know how the common message surrounding that idea is, God, that's awful? I have never seen a group more elated, more content that they created this massive cave-in in the world below that not only demolished, well, cut off the entrances and exits to a settlement that was being racked by a chaos storm. What's more, as well as themselves, they crushed the big bad. They destroyed one of the well liches to the degree that it will take him a very long time to reform in any way. They saved the settlement on the other side of the gate, the settlement of Fortress, and their lives will be commemorated for their great sacrifice. I said to them, do any of you want to have essentially roles or scenes where you are trying to extract yourself from the rubble? Every single one of the players said, no. We want it to end almost cut to credits or cut to black. Boom. Rocks come down. It's done. Because what they started doing in this game, and I'm going to use some of the World Below language here, and I'm very excited, I'm very enthusiastic if you can't tell, was they used the ability to tether wild chaos, which is like a form of wild magic from D&D, but in the World Below it's wild chaos. They pulled on the chaotic strands around them to gain more and more power and make their sorcery increasingly volatile as the Well Lich and his minions, were advancing on Fortress, determined to raise the entire settlement to get one artifact that was hidden within it. And the player characters, our protagonists, knew that they were the only people that could stand between this Well Lich and Fortress. And so, yeah, they pulled on that wild chaos to the degree that everything became so volatile it was like a nuclear reactor down there. The walls started cracking. Lava started seeping through the ceiling where there were not lava channels before. There was a flood elsewhere around them because every time they were using this wild chaos, they were rolling for chaotic retaliations. And because they kept doing it, the scale of the retaliations kept increasing. They were deliberately playing the system. They were using the chaotic retaliation tables within the World Below to try and get as dramatic, as cataclysmic effects as they could, and basically annihilate everything around them with the vain hope, which did prove out to be true, that they wouldn't backlash against Fortress itself. They were basically trying to bring down as much chaos as they could, knowing that it would probably kill them but likely destroy the Well Lich and his army. And I don't think I've ever seen such a fine lineup of chaotic retaliation effects. We had lightning storms, we had floods, we had these magma channels bursting like geysers around them. And it concluded with the best possible one, which was an earthquake. Just as the Well Lich was actually attacking them, and they were in fights, of course, with these giant bugs and the Hemexi that were in league, these blood-sucking, tick-like creatures. The quake began. The entire thing collapsed on them. Everything cut to black. The best TPK, the only TPK I think I've ever ran. Actually, that's not true. The only TPK I've ever had in a fantasy game. That's true. I mean, I've certainly done it in Call of Cthulhu before, but and other horror games where death is a certainty, but not the World Below before. And for a while there, almost when the dust settled and everything was quiet, everyone had said, no, we don't want to see if our characters can get out of this. I was thinking, is everyone pissed off? Is everyone upset? Have I gauged things wrong? And then there was basically a lot of celebration, a lot of congratulation to all of the players between all of them, and then a nice thank you to me. They had done it. they had done what they set out to do. They stopped the Well Lich, they saved the settlement, they sacrificed their lives, and they said, let's all have a break. Or can we have a break, and then when we get back, we want to create our characters' descendants one generation on, if you can want to carry on running the world below. Because the world below is a generational game as well, like Pendragon and other games that play with generations, I said absolutely. So we had our break. We spoke about it after the break for a bit more. We talked about it to see how everyone felt, and everyone was just so happy with that conclusion. And they said, we want to create characters about 20 years later, when their biological descendants or people from their settlement will have heard of them, memorialized them, and we want to essentially be picking through the wreckage. Finally, we're excavating this, because by this point, any of the surviving undead down there should have rotted to nothing. And we want to find some of our original characters, relics, weapons, and so on, so our new characters can adorn them and go on their own adventures. And so that's what we did. At the very end of the session, people had finished creating their characters. We started off by basically unearthing the skeletal remains of the previous player characters. It was just about the best ending, but also beginning to a campaign that I think I've ever experienced. And I wanted to share that with you, because it turns out Rocks Fall, Everybody Dies can actually be a very good thing. And I want to hear from you, your TPK stories. I want to hear from you your TPK stories that were good, that were satisfying, that were funny, where people around the table didn't feel frustrated by your total party kill, rather that it felt like an appropriate ending. I had a Call of Cthulhu game once, and it may even be on this channel, where every character died of hypothermia by the end of it, and they didn't even meet an eldritch entity. They were just so terrified of everyone around them, they fled out into the winter fields and died of hypothermia before they could reach civilization. So, yeah, that was fun. But this World Below game takes it to a new level for me. From there to there, very, very happy with this. Let me know about your Rocks Fall, Everybody Dies, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, if you want to pick up a copy of The World Below, I will link below where you can buy yourself a copy. Thank you very much for watching.